mother of all surprises. About 5 minutes before we thought we were done is when we figured out we were having twins. We planned the pregnancy. I was 35, and we had had a few losses before we had this last successful delivery. Hi. Can you sit with me? It was a relatively easy pregnancy. I didn't have any major complications. I started having some back pain at about 20 weeks. And up until that point, we assumed there was just one baby. All the testing, all of the measurements, indicated Thank you. Thank you. All of the measurements, all of the tests indicated that we had just one baby, and there was no prospect of there being more than just that. We didn't have any major issues until we hit about 32 weeks, at which point I started having some swelling in my legs. We did a Bradley class to prepare, and I was really active through the pregnancy, hiking and doing all sorts of things that I normally would have done beforehand. And at 35 weeks, woke up that morning, Saturday morning, and my water broke. And wasn't actually expecting that. We didn't even anticipate that that was going to happen. And we called, and we were told to just come on in a little bit later in the afternoon. So we kind of labored at home. There wasn't anything happening. The contractions were really uneventful. It was like a little bit of pressure and then nothing for a long time. And then as we got closer to the time that we were requested to come in, things progressed a little bit more. We did some walking, and I took a nap and was really comfortable. Sat down and laughed and joked with the midwives and the doulas and had an absolutely great time. We had some lunch, and then we ran the bath, and we climbed in the bath together, and things really started to progress. I had a lot of pain in my back. Kind of felt like my back was going to split wide open. And so I spent a lot more time kind of gravitating towards my hands and knees and trying to get that pressure off my back. And we got pretty close to delivering the baby in the bath, and then suddenly it just didn't feel right. And I got out, and we labored for a short while on the birthing stool, and then that just didn't feel right. So we transitioned, and I ended up delivering on my side. And it really wasn't that long of a labor. It was less than 7 hours to completion. And she was the tiniest thing I'd ever seen. And the contractions just kept going. And Dad and the midwife and the doula all thought that it was just the placenta. And so for a moment there, it was almost like I was in a tunnel. I could hear them. I was cognizant of being in the room. I knew where I was, and I felt fine, but I was still hurting, and I felt like I was in that tunnel by myself, and that no one could really hear me, and that maybe I wasn't speaking up, or my voice just wasn't loud enough. So I gave a pretty good push, and out came a second bag of water, just plop, like a big jellyfish. And everyone got really quiet, and I started pushing again, and then all of a sudden there was another head, and everyone was just really shocked, and I think a mild amount of panic set in for everyone else, but I was nearing the end, and I could feel the relief. So I gave another super hard push, and then out came that second baby. And I distinctly remember feeling like, good God, thank goodness it is over. It wasn't really painful, so to speak. I would say there was probably less than 5 minutes of pain. The distance literally from the top of their ear to their lower chin. But I do distinctly remember getting my primal scream on with that second baby, because it just seemed like I needed it to be over, I needed it to be done. So born 5 minutes apart, both of them vaginally without any major complications. We were there with 2 absolutely beautiful babies, and a really interesting experience and a great story to tell. I'm a pretty stubborn person. I am very active. I'm very busy. I have to be doing something. My mind has to be engaged. And actually stopped and listened for a change after having the twin. I would definitely tell new moms to not do too much in those first couple of weeks. If you have people helping, I would definitely tell you to take advantage of that couple of weeks of pampering before hopping right into everything else. It really makes a difference in your sanity. Don't be so picky about what you're eating. Be really concerned more about getting in nutrition and calories. You will get to a point later where you're not really going to care what you're eating, and you're going to find yourself eating after your children when they get to the point of solid food. And those standards sort of relax a little bit, and enjoy the time that you have bonding with your baby. Let others do those hard tasks. The laundry will still be there. The dishes will still be there. All of those things will not matter. I would also love to tell moms, especially twin moms, that tandem breastfeeding is absolutely 100% possible. You can tandem breastfeed exclusively without supplementation, and you will have a lot of pressure from everyone around you to make you try to do things their way. The twins were born 5 pounds, and I would tell you within 2 weeks they were already 7 pounds exclusively breastfeeding. Their dad gave a lot of pressure. Their pediatrician gave a lot of pressure, including having cases of formula mailed to my house so that I didn't have to leave the house to use it. And I only agreed to supplement if they were awake after a breastfeeding session. And they would nurse for 20 minutes at a time and fall into a very deep sleep, and I wasn't going to wake them in order to feed them formula. That meant they were completely satiated, and we were extremely successful. And now we are at about 27 months, and we're still breastfeeding up to 5 times a day. It is uniquely rewarding to be able to know that you offered your child nutrition from your body, and you made them all this time in your belly, and you delivered them, and then you have the opportunity to feed them and give them that nutrition that they need. I would absolutely tell you to try it out. Make sure you find yourself a great group of other breastfeeding moms and an awesome lactation consultant and all the support that you can possibly need. There will be times where you are raw, you might even be bleeding, and you will be frustrated. And I will tell you that circle of trust that you have with the people who are supporting you is going to really make a difference. You can do it, I promise.